Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on key finance and reporting issues that cannabis companies should focus on as they continue to grow. My name is Tim Bograkis. I'm the Business Development Manager here with Maynard Costerisan, and we have assembled an expert team from our firm, all who have firsthand knowledge of helping create business efficiencies within cannabis clients that we currently have. And they've got some great information to share with you today. Joining us today from our team is Wes Salisbury. He's our senior consultant and our lead Intacct on our Intacct implementation team. Wes has tremendous knowledge within the cannabis space and with the Intacct space as well. He's a certified implementation specialist. We also have Clayton Stifler, who's a manager in our accounting and outsource solutions team. Clayton has worked intimately with some of our cannabis clients, helping them solve some of their biggest business issues. Also joining me is my teammate in business development, Dave Henson. I'm going to pass it over to Dave, and he's going to take us from here.
Thank you, Tim. Excited to be here with everyone today. Dave Henson, Business Development Manager. I actually am a recovering accountant. I have a little bit too much energy to be tying out financial statements day in, day out. And so it put me in the role of being involved in the community and connecting with folks like you and helping solve problems. So today's agenda, we're going to cover why Maynard Costerisan, today's mission, what makes Sage Intacct a perfect fit for cannabis companies. There are some other things that we consider, as well as diving into the dashboards, product heat maps, and not just living in PowerPoint, but really just diving right in and seeing a live demo that Wes is going to drive. Very excited for that. So why Maynard Costerisan? We have been advising the cannabis industry since 2017 and working with business owners since 1906. So we've been around for over 100 years. And our model of why we've been able to be so successful is we like to put our clients at the center of attention and say, what are the issues that are inhibiting their growth and how can we help them maximize their growth, put gas on the fire, whatever the fun idioms that we want to use to try and say, hey, working with us will help make you be more successful and help achieve your goals. So being in the cannabis industry since 2017, we realized that, hey, this market, it's going to need a lot of help with a lot of regulations, a lot of oversight. Let's become those experts so we can help our clients. We have a solutions-focused team members, so that way we are dedicated to the cannabis niche. Anyone that is working on your account within Maynard is going to be familiar with cannabis and the idiosyncrasies of the cannabis niche. Also, we know we don't know everything. So we are connected and talk to and refer business back and forth with other fellow trusted business advisors. So if you have any single problem that you don't necessarily know where to go, I like to say, don't play salesperson roulette at Google and put in your information. Feel free to reach out to Maynard, and even if we can't solve it, we can make your life easier by doing some of the pre-vetting and connecting you with any potential advisor to help your company grow. And how we meet a lot of these trusted advisors are, we are very proud members of the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association and hope you all are part of that association as well and can meet you in person at one of their networking events at a future date. Feel free to reach out to us. We would love to connect in person at those events as well. So now passing it back to Tim to cover today's mission.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, and the mission of our webinar today is there's a few things, as you can see on the screen. It's a focus of our firm is to help our clients and prospects optimize their business and their business's financial health. And a lot of the conversations we have, it does center around the importance of selecting the right technology for your business, and whether it be financial accounting software, payroll software, AP, whatever automation software you guys may need. As Dave mentioned, that's where a lot of our connections come in, and we help our clients select not only the software you're going to see today, but any other technology that they need to help optimize their business. And finally, giving you the visuals and the data that you need to really manage your product's life cycle. From a growth process to spend standpoint, we want to make sure that you're able to see it throughout its entire life cycle. You understand which products are the best, which ones are not performing so well, and that you can become agile and lean in your business and make quick, proactive decisions and not reactive on waiting for numbers to come in at the end of the month. So with that being said, we're going to pass it off to Clayton. He's going to cover a little bit more on an expert level of what he's been doing with our cannabis clients. And from there, we'll pass it to Clayton.
Thanks, Tim. Hi, everyone. My name is Clayton Stifler. I have been with Maynard Costerisan for 6 years, worked with Sage Intacct for about 5 years, and have been involved in the cannabis industry for about 3 years. So today I want to talk a little about why Sage Intacct is a perfect fit for cannabis companies. There are a couple primary reasons for this. First, Intacct does a great job with multi-entity transactions and reporting. Now I'll tell you why that's so important for this industry. Due to 280E considerations and liability protection, vertically integrated cannabis companies often have multiple entities. They may have separate entities for growing, processing, retail. In addition, they may have different entities for different retail locations as well, or store locations. So many accounting software packages will require different subscriptions for each entity. This can be costly and lead to difficulties running consolidated reports across different files. Intercompany entries can also be a challenge to track. Now, conversely, in Intacct, there's just one file and one login. From there, different entities can be set up under locations or departments. Transactions can be classified to one or multiple entities, and intercompany journal entries are automatically made in the background. In addition, reports can be run across separate entities or rolled up into a consolidated financial. The ability to get financial information from multiple companies at once sets Intacct apart from a lot of its competition. Intacct has a ton of customization options and allows companies to build reports that will be most useful to their decision-making process. The second reason why Sage Intacct is ideal for this industry is that it has robust to the program. So why is that important? Well, frequently, cannabis companies have large sums of cash coming in and going out every day. Managing cash disbursements and ensuring proper internal controls over cash is vital. One way to monitor expenditures and cut down on the risk for fraud is to set up proper approvals. Sage Intacct allows users to customize various approval levels for cash disbursements. Now, I want to illustrate this using a quick example. Say we have a company whose financial personnel include an accounts payable clerk, a controller, and a CFO. We could set it up so that the accounts payable clerk can approve bill payments for any cash disbursements under $1,000. For cash disbursements over $1,000, we could add an additional approval level. For these payments, we will require both approval from the clerk and the controller. Now we could add another level of approval from there. Any disbursements over $5,000 would need to be approved by the clerk, the controller, and the CFO. For all of this, approval history is tracked on each transaction, and approvers have the ability to add notes showing why they approved or denied a request. Sage Intacct can be set up to email these approval requests directly to the appropriate personnel or post to a dashboard. There are a couple of really other slick features within Sage Intacct that I want to show you quick. I want to talk briefly about dashboards and how they are a huge part of the Intacct experience. Users can customize dashboards to display whatever is most helpful to them. Workflows can be easily managed here as well. For example, an accounts payable clerk could enter purchase orders, bills, or print checks, all from the dashboard. In addition, they can be set up as a one-stop shop for users to see summarized financial data. Stakeholders could log into their personalized dashboard to see a high-level financial summary. All it takes is a simple login, and that's it. One other item beyond dashboards I want to bring up is Form 8300. You will quickly become familiar with this form in the industry. The IRS requires vendors who receive $10,000 or more in cash payments to file this form. The intent is to prevent money laundering. With cash payments so prevalent in this industry, this form may need to be filed on a weekly or potentially almost daily basis. Sage Intacct can make it easy to pull in the information for the Form 8300. This can be a huge time saver for accounting personnel in this industry. Now I will pass it off to Wes Salisbury for a Sage Intacct demonstration.
Thank you, Clayton. All right, so what I have pulled up right here is I have a Sage Intacct dashboard. This is the first thing that I see when I log in every day. So what I'm presented with right when I log in is I have, this is kind of a scaled down dashboard. You can actually fit many more tiles on a dashboard, but I've made a pretty simplistic one where I have a look at my monthly revenue, where I'm trending at for the current month versus the prior month, where my cash balance stands, as well as a more detailed breakdown of my sales by product line by day. And we'll be drilling down into this and getting more detailed when it comes to this shortly. And then you can also have something like a more macro graph like this sales trend graph that allows you to see where you're trending, in this case, from week to week over quite a few weeks. And one thing that's really great about Sage Intacct is that even from this incredibly high level across your entire enterprise, you have the ability to drill down into any of these data points to pull up additional details and even get down to the originating transaction itself. So I can do that with the sales trend dashboard item. I can do that with my revenue performance card here. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to just show an example of that in this product line analysis report. So on a report like this, it allows you to see day by day a breakdown of your sales by product type. So this allows you to get a better sense as to what your customers are buying and when, and at which location. Because one of the things I wanted to note up here in the upper right is I also have the ability to change around my locations. So if I wanted to see my numbers for one of my sites and compare it to another site, it will automatically redraw all of my figures, all of my graphs, and all of my reports to be filtered for just that location or a group of locations. And then I have a good idea for my revenue for the month for my first location, and day by sales were by product type. But then I'm going to change that to 200 and hit apply. And it's going to, like I said, redraw all of my figures, right? Redraw all of my figures, and then I have a sense for what everyone is buying and where. So to go one level deeper, what I'm going to do is while I'm clicked into this particular location, I want to see a breakdown of all my different products that I'm selling under each type, because these three categories are just as what I said. They are broad categories for a type of product. So if I want to get a sense for what type of flower products my customers at this particular location are buying, so it looks like I have 7 different varietals of flower that I'm selling at this particular location, and then based on the intensity of the green color here, I can get a sense for day by day what my most popular item is, or it allows you to also gain insights into potential out of stock conditions where a product was selling really hot for a few weeks, but then all of a sudden it dropped off. That might be an indication of some supplier issues or something like that. It also allows you to do some more detailed analysis when it comes to replacement goods to see if clients no longer are purchasing this strain or this product, they seem to be shifting to another strain as well. So it allows you to get some more details as it pertains to that. But I can tell here that these two varieties right here are our most popular sales, our most popular item by sales for this span of time. And as in general inside of Sage Intacct, if something is a blue hyperlink, it means you can click down into it and get some more additional details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into this day for this product, and you're going to notice that the backbone or the foundation of this particular sale is a daily sales entry from an integration that we set up. And then since everything that's a blue hyperlink can be drilled deeper into, I can click on that, pop open this window here, and I can see a breakdown of the entire day's sales across my entire enterprise. Because one of the cool things that you can do with Sage Intacct is you can build integrations in with your point of sale systems and gather your revenues, gather your costs, gather your sales tax payable items, and have those get automatically brought in on a nightly basis. So not only is Intacct super powerful when it comes to financial reporting and more detailed analysis like this, but it's also very simple to integrate with if you want to integrate something like an external POS system. So this is just a little taste of what you can get with just utilizing the analysis tools that Sage Intacct gives you. But what I'd like to do now is, like what Clayton said, is Intacct is very powerful when it comes to having cache controls and building in other control measures inside of the system itself and having audit trails surrounding those. So inside of Sage Intacct, you can apply approval logic and approval rules across many areas of the system, but the one that I'd like to annotate today is the accounts payable payments approval. So I'm in as myself, and I have rights to approve payments. So maybe just imagine me as a controller or a CFO or someone at your organization who is responsible for approving payments before they go out. So I'm going to click on my approved payments link right here. And by the way, I could also access this approval queue from a dashboard. I could put a little approval dash item right here and always see what I have to approve. Or you can just navigate, say, hey, I want to go to accounts payable, go to approved payments. Pretty much just two ways to arrive at the same result. But then I get presented with this approved payments queue where I can approve, decline, either individually or you can do a mass approve or decline utilizing the checkboxes over here and these buttons up here in the upper right. If I wanted to, I could drill down into each transaction and I could see the attachments, if there were any attachments supplied. So in this case, what I'm doing is, since I already know what all these approvals or what all these bills are for, I already know that these are all good. I'm just going to go ahead and say, click approve. So after I approve the payments, it then will go to my AP manager or my AP clerk, who then has the ability to print checks or post payments against these particular items. So the type of control that's in place here is that the staff accountant or the AP manager has absolutely no ability to print checks until the CFO or the controller signs off on it. So just real quick, I'm going to print these checks. Whoops, it would help if I selected all of them. Print them, it's going to generate a PDF form that you would then send to your printer. And I'm going to hit confirm. And I just wanted to go through this process because now my print checks queue is clean. Those checks are currently getting enveloped and mailed out. I no longer have anything in my approved payments queue. But then what's happening on the back end, like what Clayton said, is Intacct is very good when it comes to multi-entity transactions, right? So what I just did was I just paid the bills of one entity with another entity's checkbook, with another entity's cash. So this might be a type of relationship where you might have different grow operations or retail operations that are incurring expenses, but the management company pays those bills on behalf of those subsidiary entities. So this is just an example of what happens on a small scale when you make a payment like that. So here's the main entry that occurs when you pay off a bill. So you have cash coming out of the appropriate cash account, and then it gets, the accounts payable also gets reversed out or taken out of, the amount gets taken out of accounts payable for the appropriate entity. But what happens in the background automatically is that Intacct will create these inter-entity entries where it's creating a due to and due from on the balance sheets of the appropriate companies. So you don't have to do any of that manual processing like you're doing with QuickBooks if you're using QuickBooks or some other solution that doesn't do that for you. And one of the features that I just wanted to leave you with is, let's just say I wanted to, going back to my report here, my product line report, let's just say I had a bunch of people that I wanted to distribute this report out to internally so that people can be apprised about how the company is doing, how sales are trending, without necessarily waiting for reports to be distributed to them manually. So one of the things you can do inside of Sage Intacct is once you have a report that you have saved, you can put it on a schedule. You can put it on a schedule, and then you can decide, I want the schedule to start today, and I never want it to end, or you can have it not end after either a number of occurrences or at a particular end date. And then you can also say, do I want it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever you'd like. But you have a bunch of different options for delivery that include directly emailing people or a list of inboxes, a list of email addresses. You can store the reports inside of Intacct itself. So those reports, those versions of the reports are saved in the cloud directly to Intacct that you can pull up whenever you'd like. Or you can store these scheduled reports in one of your cloud storage solutions. Just a couple examples of storage solutions that Intacct can send reports off to would be like Box or Google Drive. So with that, really what I showed you today in this short period of time are just a few of the powerful features that Intacct has. So if you are curious about what else Sage Intacct can do for you and your organization, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and get in contact with us, and we would love to have a follow-up demo with you. So with that, I'm going to hand this back off to Tim and Dave.
Thanks, Wes. Great demo. And as Wes said, we really just scratched the surface on some of the functionality within Intacct and how it can help your business. So as a follow-up, if you want to schedule more time and spend a little more time with our team talking through it and seeing a demo, please reach out to us. We truly believe that Sage Intacct is the right product for cannabis companies as you guys continue to grow. It gives you the real-time look into your entire organization from a data standpoint, and it allows you to become more proactive in your business and spend less time compiling and trying to figure out numbers and more time investing those hours into actually growing your business and the activities that you're going to need going forward to scale. So with that, we've come to the end of our demo. We'd like to thank all of you for spending time with us today. Our contact information is on the screen right now, and we'd love for you to follow up with us if you have any questions. If not, thanks to all of our presenters today, and we'll see you guys next time.